Imagine that you are walking along the beach and you stumble across a turtle that's been caught up in a mess of fishing lines, struggling to get free. What would you think? What would you feel? And what would you do? Now imagine that you're walking along the beach of life and you notice that you are getting tangled up in a whole range of difficult emotions. You're struggling to break free, and the more you struggle, the more it tightens and the more restricted life gets. What do you think? What do you feel? And what do you feel the urge to do? Hi, I'm Dr. Stan Steindl. Let's talk about self-compassion. It might seem strange to talk about turtles, but perhaps that can give us a glimpse into the compassion that can arise quite naturally from within. Now, of course, some of you may not be so concerned with turtles. You may prefer dogs or cats or some other living creature, or perhaps a child that you know or somebody that you really love or care for. The vast majority of us can connect with this idea of a compassionate motivation to help, especially another living creature that is suffering. So let's think. What would you do if you stumbled across this turtle who was suffering? Well, first of all, you might very well approach the turtle with a genuine wish to be helpful. You might even say out loud, "Oh, big fella, that's a nasty one. You're all tangled up and you can't break free." Even though turtles don't speak, I bet you would. I bet you would say these things out loud, and you would probably say them with a friendly, soothing, comforting voice. And you might say, "All right, you'll be okay. We'll get you untangled." Next, it would be to try to do something to help. You might yourself decide to try to help get the turtle untangled. Or you might go and get some of the things that you need to help you to untangle the turtle, a knife or a pair of scissors to cut the line. And perhaps you might actually get passers-by to help, or go and find the lifeguard or some other source of help from others. And finally, you might, once the turtle is free, say to them, "There you go, big fella, up you get, back into the water. Come on now, you can do it." So, what does this tell us? Well, first, we engage with the suffering. Second, we offer words of validation, reassurance, encouragement. Third, we speak in a friendly voice. Fourth, we take some sort of helpful action. So, what do we do when we find ourselves tangled up in difficult emotions? "You idiot! Look at you, you're pathetic. You can't do anything right. You're a failure and you always will be." And it would all come along with that hostile, attacking voice. Can you see the disparity there? John Lennon once said, "I am the walrus." Well, with self-compassion, we might also say, "I am the turtle." That recognition that I am a living creature too. I am a living creature who can suffer through no fault of my own, with this tricky brain that serves up all sorts of disappointment, discomfort, pain, suffering, just by doing exactly what it was evolved to do, and that is to help us survive and to help us reproduce. Anxiety, anger, sadness, guilt, shame, The list goes on. And all of these difficult emotions evolved in one way or another to help us to survive. But we also have brains that can bring awareness to our own minds. So we can take responsibility to work with our own suffering. We can make changes where need be and begin to approach ourselves in the way that we might approach the turtle or any other living creature that was suffering. In many ways, self-compassion is about widening our circle of compassion to simply include ourselves. So, I am the turtle and I am suffering. I notice that and I begin to approach my own suffering. I say to myself, "Oh, big fella, you're all tangled up and you just can't break free." I might say this out loud to myself, or I might say it just silently in my own mind. But I would be speaking with a friendly, soothing, comforting inner voice. And then I might say, "It's okay, you'll be all right, we'll get you untangled." Next, I do something that will be helpful. What is it that I really need right now? What is it that would be most helpful? I'd access the resources I need to help me to cope. Perhaps I would seek help from others. Being open to receiving compassion from others is super important, and I'll cover that in a later video. And finally, I might say, there you go. Up you get, time to live your values, live your life. Come on, big fella, you can do it. In self-compassion, we engage with our own suffering. We offer ourselves words of validation, reassurance, and encouragement. We speak to ourselves with friendly, soothing, comforting inner voice tones. And we take helpful action. Thanks for watching. And may I invite you to try self-compassion in your own life. And let me know what you think. Once again, I wish you all the very best on your compassionate journey.